to Dungeons and Drama Nerds, and specifically our campaign of Our Haunt for episode 3. Let's begin with a brief sort of revisiting of our characters and our players. I'm Percy, I'm playing Prosper, and we both use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing the cat playbook.
Hey y'all, I'm Leo. I use they, them, theirs, and he, him, his pronouns. I'm playing the Faceless named Trinket, who uses any and all pronouns.
Hi, I'm Kory. I use she, they, he pronouns, and I am playing Jules the Betrayed, using they, them pronouns.
And I am Tristan. I use they, them, or he, him pronouns, and I'm playing the Loved, who is Romeo, who uses he, him pronouns.
Hell yeah. So last we left our characters, we, I believe, left on Jules alone in the garden, letting the blooms feed on their ectoplasm and having quite a rough time. Which is something that I'm sure we'll find out more about as we continue our game. I have an initial sort of question that I would love everyone's sort of feelings about, which is, as we pick back up in this second session that we're playing, do we want to pick up like the next day, a few days later, like a week later? I think last we played it was like finals, like the beginning of finals week-ish time.
Did we decide if that was spring finals or winter finals? I don't know if I remember.
We're doing winter finals because we want Y2K New
yeah.
Year's.
Well, then we should definitely do something like at the year changeover for sure. Little Y2 chaos.
I don't know if we're quite at New Year's yet, though. I feel like we need to...
Yeah, maybe we scooch forward a little, like a week at most, is my feeling.
Right when they're getting done with school and we're in holiday season.
Yeah. Like mid-December, like people are starting to leave, but some people are maybe staying at the house over winter break.
Yeah, I like that.
If everyone is doing holiday things, I don't know if our house would be the type to do a gift exchange. Probably not. Secret Santas in college weren't exactly the best. I'm trying to think of like what kind of semi-communal activity. Maybe it's like a family dinner or like a house dinner or something.
Between like the actual living people who live there.
Mm-hmm. Just to set space.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. Like the people who stay have tried to find a way to do something with each other over the winter break, whether that's like a dinner or gift exchange of some kind. I think that's a fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This feels like the kind of house, like the kind of social house that would host an open mic night at some point.
Maybe it's like, because I feel like we have a lot of artists living in the house, so maybe it is some kind of like farewell winter semester, like open mic evening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add that to our list of scenes that we want to play out. My next question is, does anyone want to focus on the story of either their character or their room in the haunt today?
I'm excited to talk about the basement at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we call it like a basement-focused day, and if we meander from there, that's cool.
I think that's great. Maybe they could be looking for holiday decorations or something down there too.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Okay, radical.
Let's get spooky and sentimental.
Okay, so we're gonna focus on the basement today. Get spooky and sentimental.
Yeah, because I think the basement is the only room we haven't had a chance with yet, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm reminding myself of
Should we do a refresher of the? Should we do a refresher of the NPCs for people that might be jumping in?
That's a great idea. And actually dovetails really well with my next question, which is, do we have any supporting characters that we want to see come back? Which it sounds like we definitely want our 3 student characters. Hunter, the theater major, Mackenzie, the English major, and Dale, the soccer player who has he and Mackenzie
Undeclared.
Undeclared
Soccer major.
His job is beach.
Yeah, it really is.
So we'll probably see those three come back. Any other supporting characters we want to revisit in this session?
I'm curious to see if that stray cat ever made it back to the house. Or if he's just living with Elliot.
Yeah, I'll put stray cat on our list of like possible things that we can see how we feel.
I love might be dead.
Just a little baby might be dead. That's the description we have for cat.
It seems like the right fit at the time.
Forgot that I sent that cat into an existential crisis.
You really did. You gave that cat hell.
Poor cat.
Listen, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And then any other scenes that we want to play out. Either could be specific like things you want to play around with in a particular room, or particular scenes you want to have with a particular character or whatever.
I think at some point I'd be interested in seeing, I think most of the like living humans we've met like are regularly at this house, and so I'm interested to see like what are the different experiences for people who aren't like used to the house's quirks. Slash like does it how does the haunt present differently to visitors?
Yeah, there's got to be one person who was like, I am never going back to that house again. It was so weird.
Very fair of them.
Oh, mine's I have a different thought, so if yours was connected.
Mine is a bit of a pivot, so feel free.
Well, I was just gonna say if we have like a holiday event of some kind for the living, I think it could be interesting to try and get all of us together for something too, if that's possible. Like maybe it's not us doing a holiday together, but something I think would be nice.
Maybe it's like an orphan's Yule or something sweet like that. They feel like the kind of people who would be like, yes, Yuletide.
Is an orphan's Yule a real thing, or have you come up with an incredible phrase off the dome?
It was just the thing we called like when you couldn't be with family and you just got together with friends, like orphans Christmas, orphans Easter, blah blah blah.
Okay,
so, great. Someone's probably said it a million
Orphans
times
Yule
before me.
rips.
New band.
A pitch that I might make is we also have some more bonds that we haven't explored. Particularly, there are some bonds that invoke living characters. So potential. I don't know if it's interesting if any of them show up.
Oh yeah.
If there's a open mic night, the living writer who doesn't know I'm dead could be someone who has written something for the open mic, or is writing something for the open mic night.
Ooh.
Are they a poet or something?
I love that.
Oh, and they're well, maybe they write love poetry. That could be nice.
Oh.
So
and
maybe
then I can tell them it's bad.
we...
Or not. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I haven't seen
We'll
it
find
yet.
out.
He's a critic. Yeah, I'm curious about who the tarot reader is. Like if it's someone we've already. I could totally see Mackenzie.
I was thinking the same thing. Mackenzie loves the cranberries, and therefore she must be a tarot girly.
I think so. I think she's a Scorpio, by the way, just so everyone knows. We're on the same page. I love the many reactions. The audio format, so I'm just going to let folks know we got a lot of very strong and different reactions from that piece of information.
I feel like I should admit that my reaction was not knowing enough about zodiac signs to really know what it meant.
Mine
Also
was
fair.
slight horror.
Okay, good to know.
Slight horror.
I'm gonna look up
Have you been
Scorpios.
victimized by a Scorpio? Please call 1-800. New moon.
Ambitious
fire
and
sign.
enticing.
I
That's
exempt
generous.
myself from knowing anything about water signs.
Wow.
Lucky you.
I know nothing about myself. Nothing about. Wait, no, that's true too. That's not what I meant to say. Why not? Sure.
We're learning a lot today, y'all, both in the game and outside the game.
I know nothing about any zodiac signs except mine. Is what I meant to say.
Okay.
Also fair.
Just to like run through the list that I have made so we all are on the same page. And these can be in a different order if we want. The students who live in the house looking for decorations in the basement. Some interactions between different living people in the house, which we can sort of play out what that might be. Maybe a reappearance of the stray cat, ? A scene with the living writer who doesn't know Romeo's dead. A scene with the living tarot reader who comforts Trinket, who could be Mackenzie. An open mic night at the haunt that the students are hosting, and an orphan's Yule between our ghosties.
Love it.
Love it. Let's dive in. Who, if we're starting with them looking for decorations in the basement, who is in the scene out of us? Bearing in mind that Leo will be basementing.
I'm basement. Great non-binary name.
I'm happy to be in the basement. I'm down with that, but also I don't know if we want to have Dale helping reach high shelves or something.
He's so athletic.
It's very good at kicking things. Not where they should go. Just kicking.
I'm similarly happy for Prosper to be a nuisance in the basement to the people who are trying to deal with like string lights and stuff.
I love that. And like the tinsel and stuff. I feel like that's perfect cat fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Love that.
So Prosper's gonna go to the basement, which means I think maybe Dale's services will be needed. And then Kory, do you want to be another roommate?
Sure.
Could be Mackenzie, or could be a new roommate who we haven't met yet. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Leo, would you like to bring us into the basement on around December 21st?
All right, y'all. It's the basement. Couple of things to know about the basement. It is never the same temperature as the rest of the house. Half of the year it is much, much colder, and half of the year it is much, much hotter. There's always that time right around the solstices where it tends to really solidify what pole we're on in terms of that spectrum, and this is the much, much colder part of the year. This is the repository of everything that no one wanted to take with them when they left the house, which honestly included a lot of great stuff, but all of the good stuff gets brought up into the house and like actually used in people's rooms or in the common areas. So this is full of the broken things, the like cheap Target like full-length mirrors of days of yore, all the old posters that were left behind that have slowly gotten more and more waterlogged, kind of warping the faces of the stars that were once beloved by the former lives here. There's a couple of spray paint experiments that happened on the like rough cement wall, bright colors that didn't really amount to anything terribly artistic, but you can definitely make out a couple of rude words and a couple of rude images in the bright fluorescence against the gray. There's a bunch of just clutter, and then right up against one of the walls, there's 3 washing machines and 2 dryers. 2 of the washing machines do not work. 1 of the dryers does not work. It's just that the landlord will not haul them out. Or has not found the time. And that's sort of the vibe the basement is giving. I think that there's a particularly precarious stack of cardboard boxes, none of which are very structurally sound anymore. Like, they were either not, like, the tape on the bottom has worn away, or they've gotten, like, wet from the humidity that has accumulated across the year. So it is worth being wary whenever one picks one up.
Yeah, I think Dale's just stomp downstairs, throw his little as he's running down into the basement. Maybe for the first time in months, this young man does not wash his clothes that frequently.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He has enough of them that it's not the worst thing in the world, but it should happen more often.
I'm gonna come down the stairs afterwards and be like, it smells like raw onions down here.
I feel like it smells like that everywhere in this house. It's like,
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
well, I'm used to it. It's really good. It's cold. Are you good? It's cold down here.
It is so cold. Also, please watch your step. Last time I was down here, there was like a broken piece of glass, and I definitely did not see it last time. So.
Oh. Yeah, no, absolutely. Protect the feet.
Yeah, you're gonna need those.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely. They're useful.
There's a hollow clanking that comes from one of the washing machines. It's hard to tell if it's one of the ones that's broken or the one that works.
Do you think we have a mouse?
Dale has jumped.
Oh my god, Dale.
Sorry, I'm startled easily. Reflexes. I mean, yeah, I haven't seen any, but maybe like do you think it's in the washing machine?
Oh my god, we have to check. You don't want to wash a mouse?
You're right. I do not want to do that.
Okay, well, you should go check. I'll get a flashlight.
I should. Yep.
There's a loud creak at the top of the stairs as Prosper kind of settles and begins observing silently from the very top of the stairs, with his tail kind of wrapped around his paws.
I will be right back. I left my phone upstairs. I'll go get the flashlight.
Okay. Great. Great.
Does Dale begin to inspect alone?
Can Dale see Prosper?
I think we've established that Prosper can, at his I think maybe it's fun if at his will he can be visible, and I think Dale can see Prosper.
So this could be a great job for you, right? He's gonna like shake out his arms.
You hear the clanking again, but a little louder this time.
God damn it!
I'm gonna start to come slowly down the stairs.
Great. In it together, right? Let's Okay. It's just a washing machine. It's just a washing machine with a mouse in it, which are very small, as I've heard. I'll just okay, and he's gonna shake it out again, and I think he starts by thinking like, could I use my foot to open it up so I'm very far away from it? And then it's like, this is not remembers the glass. Okay. And I think he finally decides on the open it as fast as possible and jump back method of dealing with this. So assuming it's I'm assuming it's like an open up on the top kind of washing machine. Yeah.
Cool. Is he choosing the one that works or one of the ones that doesn't?
Does the clanking sound like it's coming from one particular one, or is it just like a general around the washing machines?
It's hard to tell since they're all pressed together and they kind of like get that echo between them.
Yeah, he's gonna go down the line then, I think. One at a time. First one he comes on, throws it up, jumps back, waits for a second to see if a violent mouse jumps out.
Dale doesn't see a violent mouse. Dale sees just a little scattering of like colorful glass beads.
That's cool. I think he's gonna pick them up.
As you're doing that, I'm like coming down the stairs, like, Dale, I'm coming, don't worry.
Oh no, it's chill. I'm good. It's nothing in the first. Well, I found these in the first one. They made me think of you like colors.
Oh, Dale. I do like colors.
They're pretty. You know, like look. I bet if we held them up in the light, they would look pretty sick.
Yeah. These are great.
Prosper, do you see these colorful beads from where you're sitting?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up at them and I'm gonna get on my back 2 feet and start kind of batting up towards where they're holding the beads. But I also would like to use one of my ghostly abilities, sense predators and prey in the area. Specifically, I would like to sense predators in the area.
Ooh. Sense predators in the area. That's good. I gotta think about that for a second.
In the meantime, I'll be using the glass bead to try and get Prosper to jump higher on things.
I think the light like refracts through the bead and there's like little spots of light on the ground and he starts trying to catch them.
Love it.
I wonder where all these beads came from. Do you think there's something that has like a bunch of little decorations on it? So maybe we can use that for upstairs for when everyone comes over.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I just assumed they fell out of a pocket, but there's a bunch of boxes.
Who would have beads in their pocket?
You.
So as Prosper opens up to sense predators in the area, I'll say that there is another clanking from the remaining washing machines, but Prosper knows that that's not necessarily a predator making that clanking. What Prosper senses with like an air of predation to it is deeper in the box pile. There's sort of like these stacks and stacks that are starting to like grow so tall they lean on each other, and there's something kind of wispy in the midst of all those boxes, something that if you listen very closely you can almost hear it counting, a really soft voice say 75, 76, 77.
Prosper goes into full like Halloween cat illustration mode with his tail like an exclamation point and his back arched, and he starts kind of hissing in the direction of the stack of boxes.
Oh. Maybe.
So you didn't find a mouse, right?
No, not. I only opened the first one so far.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, Maybe your watch can wait a day. Maybe we should. I don't know.
Maybe there's another cat in the. They don't like.
When have we
Cats
ever
aren't-
had another cat in this house?
I don't know. Van, maybe the.
Okay. Do you see that broomstick over there?
Mm-hmm.
Hold my phone. I'm gonna get the stick.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay, you have to hold it still.
Okay.
Prosper, you continue to hear the counting. The voice starts to layer upon itself, almost as though it's counting out of time, that there are like multiple counts happening at once, although as though like when you do like a row your boat in the round, it's like there is a version of this counting that's always starting over.
I'm going to use this ghostly ability that I've used with great consequence and charge towards the cardboard boxes in the way that cats will start to like suddenly move when you weren't expecting them to, and it's very alarming. Like he's gone from sort of staring at nothing to fully like pouncing towards the boxes. And I don't know exactly what the great consequence is yet, but we'll find it, I'm sure.
Does Prosper dive like sort of into the does Prosper sort of worm his way into the boxes, or does he just get quite close to them?
I think he's gonna take a running leap and try and topple it. Like topple the tower.
So as this tower comes crumbling down, you hear each thread of counting stop one by one. Like one voice ceases counting, the next voice ceases counting until finally it's silent. And you feel this heat emanating from the floor in this cold, cold basement. It stands out against the ambient temperature of the room. What is Prosper's senses like in this corporeal body? Does Prosper feel heat and cold? Can it get so hot and cold that it affects him?
I don't think he can sense temperature that acutely. I think his senses of hearing and sight and smell are very good. But I think other sort of sensory experiences are not quite available to him. I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the humans in the room, you start to feel a little bit of this emanating heat from the corner.
Is something on fire?
Oh, maybe there's a, one of those heater things over there.
So again, is something on fire? Because that wasn't hot a minute ago.
Hear it, right? Like the crackling. I can look. I'll look.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, here, you take your phone.
Okay.
I'll take the broom. And I'll look. I will look. And Dale will start inching towards the boxes.
Prosper, when the counting stops, you hear the same voice start speaking directly to you, saying, "Oh, you think you're just a sweet little kitty? You sweet little klep kitty. You thought you could get away with whatever you wanted, didn't you? You thought no one would remember. You thought you were too precious to ever be held to your wrongs."
What wrongs are you talking about?
You can't even remember, can you?
No, did I do something wrong and forget about it?
Oh, sweet kitty, the answer shan't come that easily. Are those your friends over there?
Just pushing different boxes aside with the broomstick.
I'm just kind of pacing in figure eights, clearly in distress. kind of pushing boxes out of the way. And I think if Prosper can't find the source of this voice, like he's gonna start trying to like dig into the concrete of the basement floor.
I'll start like, psst, psst, kitty, kitty, cat, come, come here.
I'm gonna weave through Dale's legs and kind of look up at him pleadingly.
Oh.
And then
Hey.
look towards where I saw the voice or heard the voice.
You can just barely see through the boxes what looks like a thick fuzz. Like something soft against the wall. If you look really closely and hold very still, you can almost see it swaying just a little bit, although there's no moving air.
Can we see it, or is this a Prosper only seeing the fuzz?
Yeah.
It depends on how close you are. I hear that Prosper's like starting to weave through the boxes to get to like the wall on the other side. Are you starting to take down the stack of boxes?
I think so. Like, yeah, mostly trying to like figure out what Prosper is having this reaction to, and moving some boxes aside and stepping around others, using the broom to like push stuff.
Great. So Prosper, I'm gonna ask you to go deeper into the basement and describe what you find.
Is this a room move?
Yes.
Yes. Prosper is going to look back at Dale and Mackenzie. What sort of outward emotion are they displaying at this moment?
Dale's trying very hard to look tough and not scared, but also is not great at that and probably looks a little scared.
What about Mackenzie?
So, from my distance, what can I see?
I think right now you see the stack of boxes like leaning against the wall. You feel the heat emanating out. If some boxes are being taken down and the stack is being dismantled, you start to see what looks like a soft sort of shadow against the wall, like around the boxes.
I'm going to turn on my phone camera and see if I can capture it. And can we closer?
As Prosper sees Dale and Mackenzie start to come closer, I think he feels a kind of surge of bravery and starts to kind of creep up towards this sort of fuzz on the wall. And is going to start to kind of prod at it with his paw. And when he does, I don't think Dale and Mackenzie can perceive this, but I think his paw goes through the cinder block. And it's sort of like in the way that like when you realize that something is two-dimensional, suddenly like you can't unsee it, and like the illusion of it is broken. I think he sees through the wall to a kind of swirling void that is like, if there were another room adjacent to this basement, this is where it would be. And it is like vaguely in the shape of a room, but he can't see exactly what's in it. It's just kind of like stark angles and motes of dust, and almost like static that is obscuring his vision. And as he sort of recedes and stops touching the wall, he can't see it anymore.
I'm going to say, do Mackenzie and Dale keep taking boxes down off the stack?
I say yeah.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I'll describe first what Mackenzie and Dale see, and then I'll say what Prosper sees. Mackenzie and Dale, you slowly see that what looked like just sort of like a faint dark shadow against the wall is the most lush, thickest mold you have ever seen in your life. It is like maybe a half-inch thick, hanging off the wall. It hangs off the wall kind of like that green like moss that you get on the beaches on like sea rocks, but it's almost blue black. It very faintly sways as though it is in water and being moved around. Prosper, as you come back from this sharp static realm, what you see sort of like subimposed within this dark mold is this near skeletal figure squatting, seated, and you see that they have long dark hair that leaves their head, covers, and sort of like strands of it extend over the boxes, over the pipes, everywhere in the room. Like it is the hair is the veins of this room. And you just see them slowly taking hairs one by one and counting them all over again. 362, 363, as though reconnecting with where the vein reaches out throughout the room. And if you turned around, you could see that the hair extends fully to the other side of the room.
Ooh.
Dale, oh my god, we have to get away from there. If you breathe that in,
Yeah,
really sick.
we should tell the landlord about this. This is not okay, right?
The landlord, maybe we should tell, like, I don't know,
Is that
Chamber of
Todd?
Commerce?
I mean, that sounds right.
Okay, we have to, listen, we have to go. Like, you can't be down here with your face uncovered. This is, like, really, really bad.
Should we, but you wanted decorations. I could grab some.
You know what? I think we can make something. We'll find other things. I think I'm good. Unless you want to grab something really quick, but at least like put your shirt over your nose,
you
please.
too.
This is.
I'll just grab this box, and I cut a mean paper
Sure,
snowflake.
I don't care.
So I think we'll be good. But we should get that cat out of here too.
I will get the cat. You
Okay.
get the box. Let's go.
Prosper is gonna pick up one of the colored beads that I'm gonna say maybe Dale and Mackenzie like dropped one or two in their haste to investigate what was going on across the room. I'm gonna grab one and kind of offer it to the creature in the wall who's counting her hair.
The creature in the wall. Similar to before, where there are like voices counting in the round, you hear that like 2 or 3 voices continue the count. But you see that her gaze is fixed on you. And as you extend the bead, her gaze, she doesn't look at the bead, she stays like connected to you, looking at your face, examining you. Do you just like drop the bead in front of her? Do you try to like keep your paw extended?
Yeah, I offer it kind of reverently. I want to use my vulnerable move, reach out and show how much you care, because I think I understand this to be a being who is trying to hurt me because they have been heard.
You see a few strands of hair move of their own accord and like leave the perch that they had on a pipe on like running across the ceiling and sort of trail down and weave through the bead like capturing the bead on the hair before trailing back up to the perch. And along with the counting in the round that continues, you now hear this like gentle jingling of these glass beads bumping against each other, sort of mixed in with the count. It becomes part of the song.
I'll come back and bring you more things if you'd like that.
Oh, sweet kitty. And she continues with her counting.
I think this whole time Dale and Mackenzie just see Prosper like staring intently at the wall, but there's not necessarily anything there. And as you say, we should get this cat out of here, I think he turns around as though he understood what you said, and kind of makes eye contact with Dale. And I'm gonna rummage around in the kind of mess of boxes until I find a sprig of mistletoe, and I will deposit it on top of the box that Dale is holding by jumping up onto like some nasty couch. And then I'm gonna run upstairs. I'm gonna turn into dusky smoke and disappear.
Nice. So you see this cat deposit this. I'm gonna say that it's like at least like 5 years old from Michael's like plastic mistletoe. It's pretty dusty, but you can like tell what it is, and it's got a cute little like golden ribbon bow on it. You see Prosper sort of bound away, and you just assume that this cat has sort of like returned to its little realm. The couch, you know those couches that have like very strong spring sounds when anything sits on, you hear the springs of the couch as Prosper makes his exit.
Cats are so weird and smart. Look at
Should we get? Does it eat treats?
I mean, what doesn't, right? Like...
You're lucky you're cute.
Thank you. Cool.
Let's get out of here.
Cool.
Does Prosper like remain as sort of dust and ether in the basement, or does Prosper totally exit the basement? With
Yeah, I think his sort of energy remains in the basement.
After the humans leave, you just see a couple of little like star-shaped cat treats like tumble out from behind the boxes.
I will happily gobble the little cat treats. And I think we fade on the basement as Dale and Mackenzie go upstairs. And we cut to does anyone have any thoughts on any kind of scene that shows interactions between the living and the ghosts in the house, aside from our like specific Bond scenes that we want to play today? Or we can jump straight to the living writer who doesn't know Romeo is dead.
Sure. I'm trying to think if there's anything we could do with all of us interacting with the living, but I don't have... Do you think there's room in maybe the open mic night or something for us to be watching?
We can channel that as like an intention for our other stuff.
Cool.
Cool. What room do we think Romeo and the living writer, what room are they in?
So I would say the parlor if it wasn't my room, but I feel like that is much too difficult. And we don't have the study, technically, but I do feel like the study makes a lot of sense for someone who's writing poetry. But I'm happy to hear other pitches if someone has a different idea for where it could be happening.
I mean, just because the study isn't like one of our rooms.
Yeah, I think we can like play it a little fast and loose.
I think what like maybe if there's like two people that are kind of managing the study, so it's kind of a team improv, and then two people or one person living, one person obviously being our ghosty.
Yeah,
That'd be
let's
real
wing
fun.
let's wing the study.
Yeah.
I feel good
Sick.
about that.
Let's do it.
Love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Who wants to play the living writer?
Cool. I'm just like taking a quick look at the study to see.
Yeah, do we want to pause briefly and like make some quick decisions about the
Yeah,
study?
let's pause.
Sure.
Like everyone chooses one thing on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you guys each want to choose
like
an
that.
aesthetic?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about a cult meets here every blood moon seeking to destroy the veil between the living and the dead?
Oh my god.
But it's just Mackenzie and her
It's just
goth
Mackenzie
friends.
and her friends.
They just read like Emily Bronte.
in case we decide we want to play more things in the study.
Love that.
Love it.
Does anyone have a desire to play the living writer with whom Romeo is close or has some kind of bond with?
I mean, if you want some really bad poetry,
I absolutely want some really bad poetry.
Nice.
I celebrate that.
I think that's very fun.
Leo, are you cool with tag teaming the study?
Love that.
I think we are. I think maybe this first scene happened like during the day of the solstice, and they have their open mic planned for that night, and now we're in like kind of early afternoon, maybe like 2:00 ish. What is this writer's name, Kory?
Caleb.
What's Caleb's like vibe? What's Caleb's?
Oh boy. Let's see. I definitely. They are a writer, but barely. Trying to think of like what's going to make them interesting for Romeo. We could be doing okay. So for Mike Night, they're gonna write a poem for Mike Night. Maybe this is a crush. We haven't actually divulged any feelings yet. So this is going to be the big reveal. Caleb is very shy. I'm going to say, ooh, big science nerd. Big science nerd. Thick glasses, like a microscope attached to the face. And let's see, big like leather messenger bag full of just random strays of notebooks and pens that have exploded and little vials to catch samples and things. I'm gonna say they're like an ecologist or something, so they go outside a lot. And yeah, just like very excited, but kind of the person that if you look at them too long, they're gonna start sweating.
Cool. So we open on the study, which is, I think maybe this house used to be owned by a professor at the college, who then decided he wanted to rent it out to students for some extra income, which is a thing that happened at my alma mater, which I think is unethical, but whatever. But there's, I think like all of the walls are covered in cabinets and bookshelves, and there's a whole bunch of like kind of really musty books that the like I think there are sections that the students have not touched in a really long time. They're just kind of like accumulated books, and then there are some sections that are like the personal libraries of the people who currently live here. And there's a curio cabinet full of twisted trophies and disturbing mementos. And specifically, I think there's a lot of like elementary and middle school like sports participation trophies or like little league trophies and things like that in here that people bought from like thrift stores because they thought they were funny. What movie has a movie prop collection in this room?
Just wondering, I think maybe they're like whoever's house this is potentially is just really into one specific director. And like has a bunch of like Spielberg props or like Kubrick props or something. It's got to be like some.
I was also thinking Kubrick.
Let's go with Kubrick. Yeah, there's just like a bunch of like props and facsimiles from Stanley Kubrick films sort of littering parts of these shelves, which like stand out. A lot of them are very like brightly colored, which is funny with like all of these wood panels. So you see this like this old wood panel sort of shelving, and then these bright cheesy golden trophies, and also these like sort of demented Kubrick props that bring together this strange room.
And I think the room has a big desk in it, but mostly it's a bunch of armchairs that people have taken off the street and just kind of stuffed into this room. So like a bunch of kind of like moth-eaten armchairs and love seats. And I think maybe we hear the kind of like a muffled bass beat as other people are pre-gaming in other parts of the house. Like I think a bunch of people are already here and they've laid their coats and scarves and things all over the furniture in here. It's like the designated drop your stuff off room. So we see Caleb, or do we think Caleb is already in there when Romeo comes in, or is Romeo hanging out in the study before?
I like Romeo coming in on Caleb, like already actively working on something, if that works for you, Kory.
How do we find Caleb in the study?
Yeah, right now there's a notebook open, and the only thing that's written is a quote from Dr. Strangelove. It says, "Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room." And that's all that's in there. Of like inspiration, question mark, pun, question mark. And now I'm just like frantically looking around the room like, there's gotta be, Kubrick must have done a romance at some point.
Was The Shining a romance? I can't remember.
A Full Metal Jacket of love. For you, my eyes are wide, not shut. There's got to be something in here. All these movies, there's got to be at least one.
I think the most romantic thing you see in the room is this, like, somehow the batteries are still operating it, but like a faintly glowing Hal on one of the shelves that sort of like flickers every now and then.
My heart beats for you, Dave. You and only you. What's wrong, Dave?
I think this is literally the point where Romeo has been walking past the door and then stops. And my heart beats for you, Dave, and is very interested in what must be happening in this room, and will enter before realizing that, of course, Caleb is talking to a movie prop. And I think maybe before Caleb even notices that he's in the room, maybe Romeo will lift up, like, I don't know, like one of the masks from Eyes Wide Shut or something. And I like the idea that he's a ghost who can't actually, like, he's not a poltergeist, he can't actually lift anything, but maybe like a ghost version of it comes up, and then he drops it, and when it drops back into itself, it just kind of shakes a little bit as that happens. And he'll say, "What are you working on?"
Maybe if I play the intro song and I turn the lights down, this could be the heartbeat. Maybe that'll give him a heart attack. Maybe that's not the right direction I want to go. Could be really niche. What if they really like that movie? Maybe I should ask. I can't. Of course, we go to watch a movie in class, and I don't pay attention to the person sitting next to me because I'm trying so hard to look at the movie. So I said I really like the movie, and I don't know anything about the person. Now I have to say something to the person. And
Okay.
This is going to go really well.
Breathe. Ooh. That's, I remember.
I don't think I packed my inhaler.
I refuse to try and understand what that means. I seem to have entered in the middle of some kind of creative impulse, a need to express yourself, even. What's going on?
All I know is that they're a huge fan of movies. I didn't even pay attention to what type. And now I have 5 hours to figure out how to be like, so
that's more than enough time. That's more than enough time. It's you'll be fine.
It took me 3 years to sit next to them in class. So, okay, 5 hours.
Romeo is caught up short by this. Oh no. What do you have? What do you have? The beating eyeball thing aside.
I have my charming personality. Hopefully they've never even looked my way. That might not be enough. Do they like bugs? Probably not best to bring bugs out on first date. It's not a date. Maybe they also have asthma. I could be there in time.
You have I will say one thing you have is a decided lack of self-confidence. And I think we need to just a little bit turn the dial. Do I know what a dial is? Yeah, stoves. Turn the dial. We will bring up that confidence a little bit, and then let's determine how you're going to broach this conversation. A date? Is this a conversation? What are you trying to do?
You would think it would be easy to just say, hey, I like you. Could we...
Is this...
no, maybe it's not that easy. Maybe it's not that easy. Maybe I should just go back.
What's the divide here,
outside.
My dear young person? What's the divide here? Is this do we have a Romeo and Juliet kind of situation? Do we have a their leagues above you class situation? I'm trying to think of an example and I don't have one. Do we Prince and the Pauper situation? Do we have a what's the deal? Let's start.
It would be easy to do this if I didn't look at him and my heart would stop.
Oh, that happens.
That would be easy. Well, I don't know. Most people, I just go into a panic. I think I'm actually going tachycardic.
Trust me, it happens no matter who it is. Okay.
Maybe they look at girl. No, that's not a good first romantic start either. He's not really known for romance.
I think can I look over at the notebook that Caleb has been trying to... Is it still only the Stanley Kubrick quote? Great, I'll read it and I'll say, this is terrible.
I'm never going to be able to talk to him. I can't even look him in the eye.
Love is not war. What is the... Okay.
Love is like sticking your hand in a biohazard bin, hoping that you're going to become Superman, but you just keep getting sick.
That was almost poetic. It was almost beautiful.
I don't even know what I'm gonna wear.
The clothes, presumably. You'll be fine. Tell me who this person is.
Okay, let's think about this for a while. What do we know about them?
Give me you're a scientist?
We met in biology lecture. Sat 6 rows ahead of me in 101. And the whole year, all I saw was the back of his head. But his hair was so pretty. I swear I could smell like coconuts from like so far away. I felt like we were in Hawaii. Maybe just me. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe he's the sun. I don't know.
Write that one down. Write that one down. Maybe he's the sun. That's a good starting place.
Maybe he's the sun. Hot as fuck. No. Maybe not.
Let's stick with maybe he's the sun. Now, was it just the smell? I get it. Trust me, the smell in the hair. But was it just the smell in the hair, or did anything happen?
Think about everything that you know, all the memories that you've made together but not together. Okay. Every time you turn around, I forget what we're doing, and then you ask me for notes, and I don't have any, and I have to like speed read and copy them before the class is over and give them to you. And that's all you said my handwriting was really nice. I could write more in my handwriting if you like. That'd be cool.
So there's something in here about handwriting. Let's dig in on that. Let's imagine a world where you wrote a love letter in the notes.
I think my hand is gonna start to shake as soon as I try to pick up my pen. And all that beautiful handwriting, the pen just blots and bleeds.
Okay. What are the facts of this person? Our hypothesis, bear with me, is this person is a great fit for
smart.
You. What are those facts?
I could fit right in the middle of his arms.
Lovely.
I could be.
Okay. He's like the sun. You'd like to fit in his arms. I don't know, there's something about heat in there. Right?
I'm gonna get up and walk around the room again. Pacing.
I was never much of a writer either.
Let's see.
Let me see. I'm gonna follow you. I'm just pacing behind you as you pace. You can keep going as I look at my moves.
Nothing rhymes with Adrian. I think here. Ian.
Squadron.
I think a wind kind of blows through the room, and the window clatters open, and a book falls onto the ground out of the shelves right in front of right in front of Romeo, in between the two of you. And it's a book of E.E. Cummings' poetry, and it flips open to that poem, I carry your heart with me, I carry it in my heart.
Maybe I'll just sing Believe by Cher. Maybe that'll work.
Wait. Turn around. Pick this up.
I'm going to step backwards as I try to do that, and then step on the book and go grab it.
Look at this one. This is good. I think I know this. I think I know this one.
Carry your heart with me. I feel like Okay, this is really good. But also, hey, we've never actually really talked that much. Did you know I carry your heart with me? Okay.
Look. This is a performance. It's a performance. Perform the poem, and then afterwards, take
I would have
this
better luck
young
performing
man
open heart
aside.
surgery.
You've got to try it once.
Young man, there's no way to feel down.
So close.
Young man.
I'm close to breaking someone's heart and enjoying it. You're right. No. I believe in love. Eyes, look at me. Right here. You're gonna read this poem out loud. You don't have to act. You don't have to do anything wild. You're just gonna read it, word for word. Put your head in the book. You don't even have to look at anyone. Just read it. And then afterwards, who's the Adrian? It's a great name. There you go. It's fine. They'll hear you. Afterwards, take Adrian aside and say, I want to share a drink with you.
Adrian, Hi.
Want to share a drink with you.
Are you thirsty? There's water over there.
Okay.
Could you get me some?
Start with the... Okay, okay, we're going back. Bring Adrian a drink. 2 drinks. Bring Adrian a drink. Say, I'd like to share a drink with you. Pass the drink.
Close the poetry book, stuff it in my messenger bag. Okay, I have a plan. I have a plan. I just have to do the plan.
Is it the one we just talked about?
I have a plan.
Is it the one we just talked about?
I've got a plan.
Please tell me this plan.
We're gonna figure it out as we go.
Okay, look, you're making me a promise right now. You are going to go talk to Adrian after you read this poem.
What if they don't even show up?
They will show up. God, I hope they show up. They will show up. You are going to talk to Adrian after you read this poem, and you are going to say something like, I'd love to share a drink with you. You could even wink. Show me how you wink. Don't wink. Just smile. You have a great smile. Smile big.
For everyone listening at home, all I did was blink.
One big smile. No wink. Do you like this person? You're wanting some kind of relationship.
Maybe.
Person. Is this correct? Am I understanding the situation correctly?
Who was it? I believe Hunter said when they do shows, you put Vaseline on your teeth to help make you smile.
No. This Hunter is leading you astray.
Oh no.
I think I do that.
No, you are going to promise me that you will not put Vaseline on your teeth before you talk to this young man. And then you will imagine this person saying yes, that they would also like to share a drink with you, and you will smile as you say, let's share a drink together. And I am like just bringing as much adulthood as I can to this order. Like, up until this point, I think I have been a little playful, but now I am bringing the full bearing of my adulthood to this directive. I'm like, I know more than you, and this is what you are going to do. It will work. I will fucking make it work. It will work. And I think I want you to make the promise. I want Caleb to make the promise because cards on the table. I would like to hold Caleb to this promise at some point in our game. And that is a move I can do. Is I can hold Caleb to this promise. Because Caleb is definitely a vulnerable being, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying.
Caleb's picture is in the dictionary.
Right next to vulnerable. I'm trying desperately to make Caleb promise me this. And I think, actually, you know what? I think I will even Let's just see where it goes. I think I'll actually even use a ghostly ability to make myself irresistible with the adulthood thing, where it's just like, you are going to fully trust me and believe I know what I'm talking about because I am beautiful and everyone loves me and I know what love is about. Like that kind of vibe. I think there is a moment where you're like, is this like a movie star from the 1940s? Who the fuck is this person? Do they live here? Like the hair is perfectly coiffed. There is a nice suddenly there's a curl coming out of it. And I am smiling and I'm saying it will go well if you promise me that you will read this poem and then go talk to Adrian afterwards and smile like you want him.
I can do this. Totally. Yeah. Okay. I didn't bookmark the page.
It's 192.
Okay. I'm just gonna take a page of my notes and just put it in there. Got it. Great. Okay. 5 hours. I'm gonna go and sit in the shower for at least one of them. Great. Cool.
It's good to be clean.
As I'm like gathering up my stuff, I'm gonna grab the red eye as a backup plan.
I think there's got to be something, because I've done this ghostly ability, but I have not spent tokens to do it. So there's got to be a moment of great consequence here, and I'm not quite sure what that is.
I have an idea. If we feel,
yeah, please.
I think, I think Caleb can't hear this in the sort of race of his thoughts, but there's a slight creak in the hallway outside as Adrian it kind of lingers by the doorway, listening to this conversation happening, and then kind of creeping backwards away.
Incredible.
Drawn by the force of irresistibility emanating from this room, and suddenly realizing that they are talking about him.
Incredible.
I am obviously the force of irresistibility.
You know what? With a little work, we can make it happen.
As you say that,
I don't know if this is going to be a miscongeniality.
as you say, with a little work, we can make it happen. You see the typewriter from The Shining start typing by itself. And the words appear on the page. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah, this typewriter knows what it's talking about. Wait, what year was this released? Yeah, this typewriter knows what it's talking about.
Maybe I'm not even... I'm still in the room, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't leave. Great, so I'm just looking around to make sure that I don't have any other papers. I'm going to grab that paper. Just like, oh yeah, this is probably mine. Don't want to forget. Grab all my stuff. Let's see. Is there anything else in the room? So I have the eyebow, the red eye. Is there anything else that I can grab at that point? What's in the? Can I ask what else is in the cabinet? If you could name a couple items.
Yeah, so I think there's maybe an axe. Maybe there's like the Lolita phone. What else is him? I'm like not a Kubrick guy.
I think in the curio cabinet there's a bunch of like trophies, and there's also like a lot of like weird little ceramic urns and a lot of kind of creepy ceramic figurines. Like, I don't know if Precious Moments figurines were a thing in 1999, but like the vibe of
They were.
There's a lot of particularly haunted looking Precious Moments figurines in there.
Oh my god, you just unlocked a terrible memory.
God, those are still being sold.
I grew up around so many of those.
I think some of those like tiny glass animals as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, and I think in the like there's like a horizontal shelf of the curio cabinet that is dominated by a big chessboard that is clearly handmade out of clay.
I'm just gonna walk over and look at the stuff and be like, I don't know if I can use anything in here. I'll see one of the Precious Moments that's got blonde hair. And I'll just tap that one and be like, maybe next time. Grab all my shit and run out. It's shower time.
I think Romeo at all of this is going to just sigh deeply and throw himself back on a chair, and, ghostly sink into it and then rise back up so it looks like he's really sitting on it. Like, they'll be all right.
That was really fun. I like that a lot.
Incredible.
I feel so nervous for Caleb.
And I think with that, we fade on the study. Beautiful. So sweet, so awkward.
So we'll cut to later that night for the planned open mic night. My feeling is that we'll pick like a room for the scene, but we can be kind of loosey-goosey about who is entering and exiting from it because it's such a big group scene. Do we all feel like cool about that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Which of our college students is there at the beginning of our scene, do we think?
I think it could be fun if maybe Mackenzie and Dale had set it up and maybe are now just like, now that if it's starting to like fill up, maybe they're sitting on a couch holding hands or sitting next to each other touching knees or something, just watching things go down.
Hell yeah.
Who do we think has control over the sign-up sheet? Like, who's emceeing the situation? I feel like it's either Mackenzie or Hunter.
My pitch would be Hunter, but I'm
That was my
flexible
instinct as well, was Hunter is emceeing.
Cool. Love that.
Are we in the parlor?
I think so, yeah.
I think that makes sense, yeah. I just remembered that the parlor has the Dread Sword Queen, who will suddenly appear and challenge us to a duel.
Can't wait.
So we have this parlor full of currently Hunter, Dale, and Mackenzie, with Caleb and Adrian promised to be there later.
Oh, I'm there. I think I'm in the kitchen having a drink.
Sounds good. Any of our ghosties there?
I will be there for now while Caleb's having liquid courage.
Cool. Jules is keeping, I assume, close eye on the costume rack.
I mean, Romeo is definitely invested in Caleb making it through this experience, so he will be there at some point. I don't know if maybe he keeps peeking in the door to see if it started, but hasn't committed to being in the room yet.
Cool. Okay, so logistics wise, Tristan, do you have the parlor for the top of the scene? Jules is there. Leo, do you want to tag team the students?
Yeah, great.
Cool. And we know what our scene is about. Maybe we know we're doing open mic night.
Yes. Is it the start of the, like, are we just about to hear the first person? Are we in the middle of it?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, I think maybe in the middle of it would be nice to, like, it's already going.
Great. Love that.
And yeah, so maybe it is a little bit more full than just the three we're focusing, or four, however many we're focusing on. Maybe there's a few other people kind of filling the space. Yeah, I can scene set if we're ready for that.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's bring us in.
Cool. I think the couches and chairs have all been turned about and moved, so they are now in rows. It really only makes like 2 rows because of the size of the room, but they're all along one long wall, and then there's a few chairs in front of that. And a makeshift kind of stage has been created in front of all of the bookshelves, which are still covered in their various drinks and alcoholic bottles, liquor bottles, and the chattering skull is still chattering somewhere behind all of those. It's just a little noise that everyone hears every once in a while. And I think as we come in, like there's someone in the middle of a poem. It's like,
can I offer that Hunter's in the middle of a dramatic monologue as we enter?
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
He's doing the All the World's a Stage.
Oh my god.
Speech.
Beautiful. Is he in costume? Is there anything from the costume rack that has been employed in this moment?
Let's see. I think he is wearing, yeah, he's wearing like a pirate shirt and a leather vest with like a lot of fringe on it.
Incredible. Yeah, I think maybe even the rack has been turned into a partition on one side of the stage, so whoever's coming up next maybe stands to that side of the rack, and if Hunter has let them know if they want to grab anything from the rack to use in their performance, they should feel free. And there's some tinsel and the mistletoe hung around like what would be the back of the stage to kind of give the vibe of this is the play space. The grandfather clock is actually moving really quickly, almost whirring a little bit, as if the presence of so many people maybe or something is like making it move faster. And I like the idea that at some point tonight, at some point in this monologue of Hunter's, that the Dread Sword Queen has suddenly appeared, seen a fellow pirate, and recognized that some kind of strange performance is happening in this space, and decided, no one's going to give me the attention I need for this duel. I will come back later. And disappeared back into the bookshelves. So if any ghosts were in the room, there may have been a momentary jump scare of, oh no, not her.
Not her.
But no. Come back, bitch, I'll fight you.
She is. Come back.
Get over here. You scared?
Yeah, I think the vibe is like actually really cheery and charming. I think everyone's cozied up. People are piled on top of each other. It's really warm in this space in a way that it maybe isn't in the rest of the house usually, because there's so many people. And maybe even some blankets have been brought in so that people can stay warm and maybe fool around under the blankets with nobody knowing or whatever. Like there's a very cozy vibe to the space. The upper head light is off. There's a lot of lamps kind of on around in the space. And maybe one lamp pointed directly at where Hunter is standing right now. And that's where we'll start.
Guess she was too scared to fight today.
Hunter finishes with a dramatic flourish and holds for applause.
Yeah.
And kind of like, yeah, he like, there's like a pregnant pause. And he looks out expectantly, and when it does, he kind of nods and bows and says, "Thank you, everyone, for indulging me. I promise I only have one more monologue that I will perform at some point this evening."
Oh, for fuck's sake. You gotta be kidding me.
Up next, playing on her ukulele is Mackenzie.
Oh, thank God, some real talent.
Oh my gosh. Mackenzie's like acting very like... Oh my god, like, no. Okay, like, I'll do it for you, Hunter. Like, I'll do it for my best friend, but, like, I can't believe you're making me do this. Yeah, she, like, sits down, like, pulls up a stool and, like, sits down on it and is like, okay, this is actually something original. Like, I don't know, I've just been... like kind of messing around.
Boo.
Shut the fuck up. For real? For real?
Boo.
Who said that?
Dale's looking for who said that, like who's doing this, like almost standing up.
Anyway.
Hunter
like,
looks surprised at
Woo.
the boo that was next to him from seemingly no one.
Anyway, my God. Okay, here's the song. It's called Shattered Rhythms Upon the Pulse of Your Lies. And it's like this song, like it keeps changing the metaphor. Like it's never speaking literally. It's always like using a metaphor or like a simile or something to like speak toward what it is. But like 1 minute it's like you set the feast and invited me to dine, but I didn't know that you would like poison my gardens. Like it's very meandering, and doesn't really have like verses or choruses.
Wow, avant-garde.
So avant-garde. At one point there's just like some kind of like whispering and shrieking with the reminder that the only instrument is the ukulele. Which like Mackenzie's not playing throughout the song as much as it's like occasionally putting emphasis at the end of a line.
I think some of our unruly spirits in the alcohol bottles maybe catch on to a couple of the moments and sing along. Not the words, because there's no clear chorus or verse, but a bit of the melody maybe.
Nice.
At the break of atonal kind of screaming, there's just, I think, like a bubbling of screams from the bottles on the shelves.
I think, honestly, Mackenzie's like, yes, the Romans outlawed keening, the British outlawed the keening, bring the keening back, it is time to keen, and is like inviting the room to shriek.
But you want to see some keening? Give me that microphone. Give me that microphone.
Yeah, I think at this point she like
I
takes the
wrote
microphone
keening.
off the stand and just like weaves through the audience and puts it into people's faces. And is just like, grieve!
My nightmare.
It's giving Midsummer with the screaming.
Yeah, and I think at one point, I'm not sure where Jules is in the room, but I think at one point the microphone does come quite close to you.
And that's how you really scream.
Yeah, so there's this like
Amateurs.
echoing scream that comes from no one.
It just moves on.
I think Mackenzie stops.
Yeah, what was that?
Who did that?
It wasn't me. I'm not a tenor.
Y'all, for real.
A tenor? A tenor?
Y'all, for real, who did that?
A tenor?
Like, what in the Christmas Carol fuckery?
Christmas Carol! Oh my god, I'm about to be the ghost of Christmas future if you don't.
Yeah, like
What can I rattle in this room?
Okay, well,
there's like so many bottles and so many like bowls of
So many
and, like
bottles.
bowls of chips and like
I'm gonna go up and shake the bottles a little bit, or at least try to.
oh yeah.
yeah, I think the bottles all like rattle. Oh my god, it's like Jacob Marley. You were right. It's the Christmas Carol.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, great. Scratch your nails on a surface. I can do that at any time. Neutral move. Leaving blood behind.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna scratch my nails on the wall behind the microphone.
Oh my god. I think Mackenzie turns toward the like 3 other people in the room who are part of that cult that gathers on the blood moon.
Just some midnight girlies.
And just pulls the microphone up and says, what have we unleashed?
Oh my god, I knew this would happen!
Oh my
like
God.
someone's super pumped. Like, this is incredible.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. What are you unleashing in our shared house?
Okay, so every October on the blood moon, the coven gathers. We hang out in the study and we just like we spend the whole day like cleansing our crystals, and then we bring them and we put them in the moonlight and like offer some little sacrifices to like try to commune with the afterlife.
We have an entire garden of rocks. If you thought that worked, wouldn't you have been healed just by walking through the fucking garden?
And clearly, like, something's talking back.
I have been here for years. Oh, clearly something's talking back. Yeah. Open your ears.
Last year, it absolutely healed me. Remember?
Oh yeah. What was it that you were dealing with last year?
Well, I had that sprained ankle last year, and when we did it, like the next day, I was able to walk again.
Sorry, I don't. Hunter stands up. Sorry, not to be like that guy, but I don't like. None of that is real. Like, the supernatural is not real.
Oh.
Then who did that?
I don't know. It's probably just Mackenzie playing like a prank or something.
No, I swear to God, this is not me. And also, if you want to like come talk to me about what's real, theater kid.
That is a low. That is a low.
No,
blow.
It's not even a blow though. I'm just saying, like, you have your realm, in which you work your craft, and I have like my realm in which we work our craft, and we both sort of like engage with reality in this way,
I'm gonna grab a bowl of popcorn and just sit back and watch. Finally, some entertainment.
I think there are definitely people who are not sure if this is a performance. Like, is this a scene y'all set up to happen?
Like, tell me you haven't experienced weird stuff in this house.
I don't, like, it's all explainable. Like, listen, and he goes and he's gonna touch the wall where the blood is seeping out. And it's gonna be like, this is clearly, like, paint. Oh, it's, like, warm paint.
Warm paint.
Lick it. Nope.
No, let him cook.
He's gonna smell it. Oh. This doesn't smell like paint.
What does it smell like?
I think this is like actually blood.
Okay, very funny. Okay, you tried to call me out. Okay, this is a very funny double bluff.
No, I'm not fucking around.
Is this your third monologue? Is this your last scene of the night?
No, this is not I would not put my third monologue right behind my second monologue, Mackenzie.
I'm sorry, right behind? I just sang my entire original song. What do you mean right behind? That was like 10 minutes ago.
At this moment, Caleb is going to come in after 3 shots of whiskey. Who's ready to listen to some poetry?
Caleb, not now. No,
I'm ready to listen to some poetry. Actually, I would love to see what the spirits think of a little poetry.
Oh!
There is blood running down the wall. Are we not gonna, like, talk about
What
this?
do you want to say about it?
Did you know that your aorta is the main blood pumping vehicle of your body?
Pretty cool, Caleb. And then you, like, what is there to say?
Thanks.
Genuinely, like, what do you want to do about this right now? Other than just keep.
I feel so
like,
cool.
Is there like a body in the wall? Like what?
A body in the wall?
Everybody.
Okay, well, you can grab the cubic axe from upstairs and you can hack down this wall, or we can listen to some really bad drunk poetry.
Hey, I worked very hard.
Oh, I believe you.
I think Dale has immediately entered like mediator mode at all of this, and the only thing he can think of to do is to climb over the couch and the chairs with like the towel he wears around his neck, and is just gonna start cleaning off the wall. He's just trying to clean it down.
No, babe.
Oh my god. Is that the first time you've called him babe? Because he noticed. He's like wiping it down.
Hunter's gonna storm upstairs to get the axe.
Okay.
Whoever did this, it was a great bit. It was great, but like it's not a good backdrop for little person's poetry. What's your name? Caleb's poetry. Caleb
I
needs a
come
nice.
here all the time.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'll remember. I'll remember next time. I'm excited to hear your poetry.
Yeah, let's all give it up for Caleb.
Yeah.
I'm still the MC, Mackenzie. Give it up for Caleb. You hear echoing down the stairs.
Woo! Give it up for me!
At this, Romeo has peeked ahead into the room and is going to step into the doorway and lean against the door.
And I think coming out of the kitchen, you see Adrian, who's I think like tall with kind of hair just past his ears. It's very swoopy.
Yes.
And he's wearing a white t-shirt and a leather jacket, and he's just gonna kind of lean up against the doorway between the kitchen and the parlor.
Romeo's gonna be like, "Is that him? That's him?"
Sup, everybody? I have a poem, and it's kind of a love poem, but he doesn't know who it's for. Yeah, so let's get into it. This is I Carry Your Heart by a guy I forgot, and I made some adjustments. So yeah, it's by me with some help. Here we go. I carry your heart with me. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, whether near or far. I fear no fate, except for this open mic night, and maybe one person. Whatever a moon has always... Oh, nope. No world. That may change depending on how you all react. Whatever a moon has always meant, I knew that it always meant you. The song of every morning sun is you. And my alarm clock, mostly you. Here's the deepest secret nobody knows. Oh, by now I'm sure it's easy to see. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life. My life. Your life. My life. Intertwined. Maybe. Which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. That's you and me. I carry your heart, and I hope that you'll carry mine. Thank you, good night!
Romeo claps loudly. And I don't know if it carries, but he's trying very hard to make this happen now.
I think I think the other people in the room see Romeo start to clap hard, and the applause goes from a polite smattering of applause to actual applause.
Who wants shots?
I'll take one.
Great. Anybody? Maybe.
Adrian
anyone?
reaches back into the kitchen without looking and grabs a bottle of tequila.
That looks great. So do you. Let's do that.
Sorry, what?
Shot?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, I don't have I can go grab shot glasses.
I can pour it in your mouth. That's fine.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Cool. Great. You're kind of tall. Can you get down on me?
Mackenzie was coming in to get a shot and then was like, absolutely not.
Here, I can help you up if you want to just stand on the island.
Sure. Yeah, I can be a string bean, long, tall boy. Get down. Open up.
Yeah, he tilts his head back.
Thankfully, this is the part where I'm the most precise. Thankfully, scientists, we're good at this sort of thing. I'm going to get a little drop on the outside of his mouth. Be like, oops.
Oh, no worries.
I got it.
Wait, do you go for it? I feel like I should not be the sword. What is?
Would everyone like to play Adrian this time?
Does Romeo exert any sort of ghostly abilities or assistance?
Yeah.
We made a promise.
I was gonna hold you to it, but you just went for it. I didn't even have to make you do it, but I want to do something. What do I have? My God. What
I
could I
feel like
do?
I could make an argument that you have created a moment of intimacy in the aggregate of the previous scene in this one.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that's true. I also wonder if there's I mean it kind of cuts into the moment, so maybe this doesn't work. But I
Come
wonder
on
if there
in.
was a moment before you jumped or as you were jumping up on the countertop and about to pour it. I like the idea that you're about to pour the drink and from across the room Romeo like locks eyes with Caleb, and maybe maybe he just says, to do something you're terrified of can be a very attractive thing. And I think maybe it just like reads in the ear as if he was right there to say it. Um, and I think that's kind of telling Caleb what makes them beautiful in this moment.
Oh,
And maybe that empowers Caleb to go for the lips after spilling. I don't know. Um, yeah, I think I like that.
I'll also say that like Mackenzie was like, I'm not gonna get involved with this shot process, but is absolutely keeping an eye just like for the hot goss of it all. And so if there is a moment where like Caleb goes forward and Adrian's like, no, thank you, Mackenzie is ready to be like, okay, we've had enough to drink. Let's go do something else.
I think Adrian in this moment like accepts it and kind of helps Caleb swing down so that they're standing like both on the ground again. I think they just start making out in the kitchen.
Oh man, I think Romeo is like trying not to cry. Like I'm not like in a sad way. It's like so moved by this working out and like I don't know. I think it's maybe it's not even lost on him that I'm guessing based on the characters we've made up here, that this isn't maybe something that could happen so easily back when he was alive or something. Like maybe that isn't lost on him, and it's a very impactful moment for him.
Let's go.
What's happening back out in the parlor?
I think Mackenzie, once she saw that like these two had themselves covered, was like, "Who else wants shots?" And maybe goes to look for another bottle, or is like just trying to sort of, yeah, keep everyone entertained. I think in that she like finds a bottle, pours a shot for herself, pours a second shot, goes to Hunter and offers him the shot and just says, truce.
Yeah. Truce. And we do
a shot.
We do a shot together. I want to be self-indulgent and say that I think Prosper pads into the parlor and curls up in Romeo's lap.
Oh yes,
and like sees him
it.
crying and just kind of like shows his care for Romeo by providing comfort even though he doesn't exactly know why or what's happening.
I think Romeo will like try to point out what's going on and be like, I didn't know if it was gonna work out, but they did it.
Living seems good sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think it was all good, but I think the good maybe was worth it.
I don't know about that.
I think that likewise, Trinket tends to stay away with crowds. I think like the energy is just too much. But there's also a curiosity. So they like in the way they like to travel vertically through the house, just kind of like poke their head up through the floorboards. See Prosper and Romeo and Jules all sort of like mingling and being so lifelike in this moment in the way they've like chosen to insert themselves. And just sinks back down through the floorboard. She's like, nope, that's not for me.
I have something that could be a fun button for the
Give
the
it-
scene if we're
yeah.
ready for it.
I'm ready.
I think the Dread Sword Pirate Queen comes.
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
We don't have to like do the duel at all, but I think she peeks her head out and notices that the performance has ended and everyone is off drinking and sees us, maybe even sees Trinket kind of sink down in that moment and recognizes that her time has come. And she pulls all the way out of the wall and she's got like, tight pants on, just like a fully open shirt, a coat that goes, it's maybe too short for her, but looks great. And she has her saber out already. And she'll whip it in front of her and then she'll sheath it and she'll say, "It is time for our duel. You must answer me these riddle 3.
Just fight me, you coward. I don't need to play your mind games.
We already, that was last time.
Wasn't good enough for you? Wasn't good enough for you? Come on.
Lost.
Fight me, you coward. I got 2 swords.
I'm really invested in the Dread Sword Queen and Jules. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Whatever's happening here, I'm all about it. Yeah, and I think maybe there's just a sudden moment of like, oh shit, we were all about to chill out, and now the Dread Sword Queen came back.
Yeah, Prosper jumps fully through the floor and like into the basement. Gets out of there.
Romeo is just like, is it really y'all? Just me and Jules?
So I think we fade on Jules fighting the Dread Sword Queen, and the various living inhabitants of our haunt, making out in the kitchen. I think Hunter and Mackenzie probably end up having some kind of long, deep conversation about skepticism and the supernatural.
There are more things, Horatio. Heaven and earth, something like that.
Okay, yeah, I guess you have a point. But you don't know anything about my philosophy. It's too sort of complicated and nuanced for someone like you to understand.
Oh my god, don't flirt with me.
Ew. So we fade back as the night goes on, and we will end our episode there.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Percival, Hornak, and Nicholas Orvis, and this episode was mixed and edited by Percival, Hornak. Our core ensemble are Todd Backus, Jovane Caamano, Anthony Sertel Dean, Christopher Diercksen, Ben Ferber, Kory Flores, Mieko Gavia, Tess Huth, Romana Isabella, John Johnson, CJ Linton, C. Meaks Meaker, Leo Mock, Phan, and Tristan B. Willis. Our game of Nedjadi's Our Haunt features Percival Hornak as Prosper, Kory Flores as Jules, Leo Mock as Trinket, and Tristan B. Willis as Romeo. If you'd like to help us continue exploring the intersections of theater and tabletop role-playing games, consider leaving us a review on your podcast app of choice, or supporting us and getting access to our patron-only bonus content at patreon.com/dungeonsanddramanerds. You can find our social media and website links, including our cast bios, at the link tree in our show notes. And be sure to tune in soon for another episode of Dungeons and Drama Nerds.